So that troubled time continued, woe that never stopped, steady affliction for Halfdane's son, too hard an ordeal. There was panic after dark, people endured raids in the night, riven by the terror. When he heard about Grendel, Higelac's Thane was on home ground over in Geatland. There was no one else like him alive. In his day he was the mightiest man on earth, high-born and powerful. He ordered a boat that would ply the waves. He announced his plan to sail the Swan's Road and search out that king, the famous prince who needed defenders. Nobody tried to keep him from going. No elder denied him, dear as he was to them. Instead, they inspected omens and spurred his ambition to go, whilst he moved about like the leader he was, enlisting men, the best he could find. With 14 others, the warrior boarded the boat as captain, a canny pilot along coasts and currents. Time went by. The boat was on the water and close under the cliffs. Men climbed eagerly up the gangplanks. Sand churned in the surf. Warriors loaded a cargo of weapons, shining war gear in the vessel's hold, then heaved out, away with a will in the wood-wreathed ship, over the waves. With the wind behind her, and foam at her neck, she flew like a bird until her curved prow had covered the distance, and on the following day, at the due hour, those seafarers sighted land, sunlit cliffs, sheer crags, and looming headlands. The landfall they sought. It was the end of their voyage, and the Geats vaulted over the side, out onto the sand, and moored their ship. There was a clash of mail and a thresh of gear. They thanked God for that easy crossing across a calm sea. When the watchman on the wall, the shielding's lookout, whose job it was to guard the sea cliffs, saw shields glittering on the gangplank, and battle equipment being unloaded, he had to find out who and what the arrivals were. So he rode to the shore, this horseman of Hrothgar's, and challenged them, in formal terms, flourishing his spear. What kind of men are you who arrived rigged out for combat in coats of mail, sailing here over the sea lanes in your steep-hulled boat? I have been stationed as lookout on this coast for a long time. My job is to watch the waves for raiders, any danger to the Danish shore. Never before has a force under arms disembarked so openly, not bothering to ask if the sentries allowed them a safe passage, or the clan had consented. Nor have I seen a mightier man-at-arms on this earth than the one standing here. Unless I am mistaken, he is truly noble. This is no mere hanger-on in a hero's armor. So now, before you fare inland as interlopers, I have to be informed about who you are and where you hail from. Outsiders from across the water. I say it again. The sooner you tell where you come from and why, the better. The leader of the troop unlocked his word hoard. The distinguished one delivered this answer. We belong by birth to the Geat people, and owe allegiance to Lord Hygelac. In his day my father was a famous man, a noble warrior lord named Igtheo. He outlasted many a long winter and went on his way. All over the world men wise in council continue to remember him. We come in good faith to find your lord, and nation's shield, the son of Halfdane. Give us the right advice and direction. We arrive here on a great errand to the Lord of the Danes, and I believe, therefore, there should be nothing hidden or withheld between us. So tell us if what we have heard is true, about this threat, whatever it is, this danger abroad in the dark nights, this corpse-maker mongering death in the Shielding's country. I come to proffer my wholehearted help and counsel. I can show the wise Hrothgar a way to defeat his enemy, and find respite, if any respite is to reach him, ever. I can calm the turmoil and terror in his mind. Otherwise, he must endure woes, and live with grief for as long as his hall stands at the horizon, on its high ground. Undaunted, sitting astride his horse, the coast guard answered, Anyone with gumption and a sharp mind will take the measure of two things, what is said and what is done. I believe what you have told me, that you are a troop loyal to our king. So come ahead with your arms and your gear, and I will guide you. What's more, I'll order my own comrades, on their word of honor, to watch your boat down there on the strand. Keep her safe in her fresh tar, until the time comes for her curved prow to preen on the waves, and bear this hero back to Geatland. May one so valiant and venturesome come unharmed through the clash of battle. So they went on their way. The ship rode the water, broad-beamed, bound by its hawser, and anchored fast. Boar shapes flashed above their cheat guards, the brightly forged work of goldsmiths. Watching over those stern-faced men, they marched in step, hurrying on till the timbered hall rose before them, radiant with gold. Nobody on earth knew of another building like it. Majesty lodged there. Its light shone over many lands, so their gallant escort guided them to that dazzling stronghold and indicated the shortest way to it. Then the noble warrior wheeled on his horse and spoke these words: "It is time for me to go. May the Almighty Father keep you, and in his kindness watch over your exploits. I'm away to the sea, back on alert against enemy raiders." It was a paved track, a path that kept them in marching order. Their mail shirts glinted hard and hand-linked. The high gloss iron in their armor rang. So they duly arrived in their grim war-graith and gear at the hall, and, weary from the sea, stacked wide shields of the toughest hardwood against the wall, then collapsed on the benches. Battle dress and weapons clashed. They collected their spears in a seafarer's stook, a stand of greyish tapering ash, and the troops themselves were as good as their weapons. Then a proud warrior questioned the men concerning their origins. "Where do you come from, carrying these decorated shields and shirts of mail? These cheek-hinged helmets and javelins? I am Hrothgar's herald and officer. I have never seen so impressive or large an assembly of strangers. Stoutness of heart, bravery, not banishment, must have brought you to Hrothgar." The man whose name was known for courage, the Geat leader, resolute in his helmet, answered in return: "We are retainers from Higelac band. Beowulf is my name. If your lord and master, the most renowned son of Halfdane, will hear me out, and graciously allow me to greet him in person, I am ready and willing to report my errand." Wulfgar replied, a Wendel chief, renowned as a warrior, well known for his wisdom and the temper of his mind: "I will take this message in accordance with your wish to our noble king, our dear lord, friend of the Danes, the giver of rings. I will go and ask him about your coming here, then hurry back with whatever reply it pleases him to give." With that he turned to where Hrothgar sat, an old man among retainers. The valiant follower stood foursquare in front of his king. He knew the courtesies. Wulfgar addressed his dear lord: "People from Geatland have put ashore. They have sailed far over the wide sea. They call the chief in charge of their band by the name of Beowulf. They beg, my lord, an audience with you, exchange of words and formal greetings. Most gracious Hrothgar, do not refuse them, but grant them a reply. From their arms and appointment, they appear well-born and worthy of respect, especially the one who has led them this far. He is formidable indeed." Hrothgar, protector of shielding, replied: "I used to know him when he was a young boy. His father before him was called Ygtheo. Hrethel the Geat gave Ygtheo his daughter in marriage. This man is their son, here to follow up an old friendship. A crew of seamen who sailed for me once with a gift cargo across to Geatland returned with marvelous tales about him. A thane, they declared, with the strength of 30 in the grip of each hand. Now holy God has, in his goodness, guided him here, to the West Danes, to defend us from Grendel. This is my hope, and for his heroism I will recompense him with a rich treasure. Go immediately, bid him and the Geats he has in attendance to assemble and enter. Say, moreover, when you speak to them, they are welcome in Denmark." At the door of the hall, Wulfgar duly delivered the message: "My lord, the conquering king of the Danes, bids me announce that he knows your ancestry, also that he welcomes you here to Heorot, and salutes your arrival from across the sea. You are free now to move forward to meet Hrothgar, in helmets and armor, but shields must stay here, and spears be stacked until the outcome of the audience is clear."